Hey guys, so today my message is God knows your name. I will be coming from Malachi, so that's chapters 3, 17 through 18, and Malachi chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. So I'll give you a little backstory. So basically, what is happening here before verses 17 and 18 is that the people were basically talking bad about God, or a lot of people were mocking God and things like that, as in to where they really didn't fear the Lord and they really didn't honor his name. And this was most of the people. And they would mock what it was to actually believe, or to do the things of God, or to do things that were that were correct. And they were talking about to do the things of evil because you'll get rich or you'll prosper when you do evil instead. And so basically, God heard their conversation because, he's God. And so he was talking to the people about it and talking about like how they need to come back to him and how they have strayed very far away, because some people did fear the Lord, and those ones that did fear God and those that tried to upkeep his holy name and to do things that they knew were correct by him, they were written down in a scroll, a book of remembrance. And in verse 17 it says, "And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not." So basically, what is happening here is God is saying that the people who fear him and the people that love him are the ones that he's going to call back up on the day of judgment. So in verse 17, like when it's saying that, is God will spare us because we love him and because we fear him and we know who he is. So we will not be cast down with the wicked, for we are not evil, but we are with God. In Malachi chapter 4, verse 1, it reads, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts." Wow. So that was a mouthful right there. So first of all, in verse 1, it's saying that it's talking about judgment, basically, about how it'll be a furnace. And if you are wicked, you shall burn like an oven. That doesn't sound very pleasing, now does it? "And so shall the proud and the wicked will burn, and they will be turned into stubble." And that day is coming very, very soon. So that's really like the whole importance here. It's coming and it's coming and it's coming and it's coming. So we need to be prepared so that we do not fall and we don't become one of the wicked or the proud or the boastful, so that we don't have to burn in the furnace. Like an oven. We don't, because, we don't want to burn. We shouldn't have to burn because we know who God is, and we know and we fear who he is. So because we fear and because we trust and because we love in him, then we don't burn as long as we keep on to that path, because we do right by God. So in end times, not even a root or a branch will be left by what is burned up on earth. Wow. So all the trees, all the bushes, all of everything, that's all going to be gone. Nothing is going to be saved by the fire for the wicked and the proud. We'll already be taken, we'll already be up there. But with what's going on here is when the wicked and the proud will be burning on earth itself, and nothing else will be left. Everything will be consumed up by flames. And so, oh yeah, in verse 2, what it's saying is that the Son of Righteousness, S-U-N, as in like sunshine, So the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as cows of the stall. So the people who fear God in his name, those are the people that shall arise because of the righteousness within them and the fear that they have of God. And so when we have that fear, because we have that fear of him, we are written down in a scroll. I don't want to say that either. And in verse 2, it's saying that yes, we should fear God because he is God, And when it's talking about growing up as cows of the stall and going forward, we shall be set free. We'll be free. And, free to roam, just free from the bondage and the hurt and the pain and the despair from the things of this world. We'll be set free. For me, personally, verse 3 really hit me hard because it says that, and ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. That is, wow, that's crazy. I mean, that when someone, this is my thought process is when someone does us wrong or when something comes against us, we can tread upon them and there will be like ashes underneath the soles of our feet. We'll be above them, We won't have to continue to feel like we're being compromised or contained or confined in a box by them when they're just ashes under the soles of our feet. And on this day, said the Lord of hosts that he shall do this. And that's exactly what's going to happen in end times. That they're just going to be ashes under our feet, under the soles of our feet. We will tread down upon the wicked. For the wicked, first of all, the wicked cannot stand in the presence of holiness or godliness or any fruits of the Spirit. They cannot. Wickedness does not go with godliness. Those two cannot be together as one or in the same presence. Wow. Sometimes when you're preaching or you're ministering to someone else about God, God gives you an answer you've been looking for the entire time. Yep. Wickedness cannot stand in the midst of godliness, of holiness. They cannot be together because the wicked will see the godliness and they will know what they're doing is wrong. And they do not want to be bound by those standards. So they have to get out of the presence of that godliness. Wow. Then they that feared the Lord, going back to verse 16, then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. So why did I go back to this verse and why did I say it earlier? Well, basically, because that means that because we fear the Lord and we try to honor his name and do the things that he wants us to do, our names will get written down in a book of remembrance because we fear the Lord and we do what we and and we think about his name. And so that means the Lord knows our name. The Lord knows your name because you keep trying, you don't give up, you have patience, or at least you're trying to get patience, you're trying to be kind, you're trying to do the things that you know God and Jesus would want you to do. The Lord knows your name. And he writes it down because we fear him and because we love him and because we think about his name and we don't try to do wrong by his name. As in, for example, let's say that let's go with a stereotypical Christian, okay? The ones that most people think of instead of the true Christians. So let's say, okay, we're stereotypical Christians and we don't really help anyone. We don't give tithes, we don't pray for people. We don't ask people about their day. We don't try to make others smile. We don't minister the gospel to them. Okay, let's go with that version. Or we just hate everyone, or we act like everything's all good in church, but then as soon as we get out of church, we act rude towards everyone. So that's the stereotypical Christian I'm talking about right now. And so that's like going against his name because we're not thinking of God. Because if we were thinking of God, then we would never act that way. So that's going against his whole name. That's going against God himself because we are not actually doing the things of God or the will of God, as in forgiving others or praying for them when they need it or lending a helping hand or being like, okay, so you need this. Okay, I got you. Have the spirit of giving, or hospitality. Welcome them into your home, Be like, okay, you need a place to stay, to sleep. Okay, you pray over them, of course, before, they enter your house, and you just make sure that they are okay and that they're protected, and you pray and you help, do whatever you can. Have that hospitality type of spirit. And we don't harbor bad feelings or bad thoughts or anything, like towards other people to where it's like you hate them or you constantly talk bad about them or stuff like that. There's difference between being constructive, with criticism, and there's a difference when you're just constantly just nagging and nagging and nagging because that's not right. Okay, and in verse 17, this I really do like this one as well because the Lord is talking about us. Those who fear the Lord shall be his. And in that day, when he makes up his jewels, he will spare them. We are his jewels. God knows our name. Just like we know what a ruby looks like. A ruby is red. We know an emerald is green. Just like gems and rubies, God knows our name. So think of it this way. Oh, wow, look at that beautiful gemstone. Wow, her name is Brittany. I created her. That's how God sees us. You know what I'm trying to say? Or wow, look at this beautiful gem. They have the gifts of prayer and fasting and giving. And that person's name is so and so. And I know their name because they are my jewel. They fear me and they think about the things they do according to my will, and according to my plan. And they don't just do whatever, but they pray first. They don't just act. So that's what I'm trying to say. Just like gems and rubies and beautiful, beautiful birthstones, that's who we are because we are a jewel to Christ. We are an asset. We are very, very important to them, to God and to Jesus. And we shall be the Lord's because the Lord knows our name. And that's so amazing. That means that, we're just humans. We're just human. But glory be to God. God and Jesus still love us. And they still help us out and be a blessing to our lives when we really need them, or they send blessings our way when we really need them. And that's such an amazing thing because it's like, wow, everyone on this earth and they choose to help us or they choose to help me when I'm going through a little test, or when I'm trying to figure out what's going on in my life. They're still there, and they're there when I need them, and even when I don't think I need them, but I really do, because we can't do anything without them. We would we'd be nothing without them in general. And so that's really my message here, because God knows our name. God knows your name. So don't think that you're not worthy, or you're worthless, or you're just you. No. Yes, we are human, but glory be to God. We are God's people. We're God's human. That's the part you're missing. You're missing God. God goes first. Okay? Like, man, I'm just human. I'm God's human. I'm just a person. I'm God's person. You see? There's a difference. I'm just a child. I'm God's child. You see? Because when you pick God first, when you realize who you are to God, you become of so much more importance. You think of yourself in ways you probably would have never thought of yourself before. And that's really what matters here, because you are a gem to God. So go about your day and remember that, yes, you are a gemstone to God. God knows your name. Amen. Okay, be blessed. Bye.